Alright, it's time for another Ricky's Reviews, and this time we are going to look at one of those titles that was, according to a lot of people, forgotten. I'm talking about Miasmata, or whatever. I don't really know how to pronunciate the name even. But the point of the game basically is that you are like sick, I guess. You have a plague, something like that. It's really hard to explain. But you come to this island where you have the chance to find a cure, and pretty soon you get to know that you have you control your character and you run around with your hands and you can just pick up stuff. They implement the whole idea of having everything feeling like you are there with your notebook and your stuffs at the place. Like not time never stops, and all the tools that you have are like basically how it would be if you were at that specific type of island. Now, pretty much in the beginning, another thing occurs. You find this bloody letter and a guy with a knife in his back. So it sets the tone for the whole game, and you start doing a lot of these like collecting stuffs and also using the tools in the island in different kinds of ways, I'd say. And everything up until now, if you look at it, like all of these points together with that it's a cheap game, and it's also one of those games that come from like indie developers that try to do something creative, then up until this point it's a real high point. But my problem with Miasmata is it starts already at the first screens. It lags on my computer, and now of course I don't have like the cutting edge technology computer here, but this is an indie title that doesn't really look that impressive to me. So what's up with the lag? And even though I set all my settings, it still makes all these weird kinds of reflections and stuff that just brings my computer to like a downslope. So that doesn't work at all. And then like when you have to do a specific sort of things in the game, like running around in the rain or search for things, my computer just hicks up too much, so it's virtually unplayable. And even with the lowest kinds of settings, it still doesn't make like the game easy to play. Though I managed to get it running decently after a while, so I've been able to play a couple of hours. And as I said, it really gets you going. Like you have this cure that you have to develop, you have this guy that's laying dead on the island, what happened and everything. But then again, you want to feel like you can do like freely stuff in this game, and you really don't feel that at all, to be honest. And the way you have to control things, it just hicks up, like picking up things, moving them from one place to the other. It just feels really stiff. I get it that they wanted you to think that like you have to think about like filling up your canteens, getting all your plants together to develop the cure, resting, taking care of your character. All of these things should go together pretty well, but it actually just makes it a lot of a hassle. And realism, of course, but I don't know if this is how it would feel in real, like you're always going around doing all these weird kinds of things. But I don't know, I've never been on an abandoned island, I guess. Now another thing that I also noticed with this game is that they want you to write down things for your map. Like they teach you things, they put out notes everywhere, and they use a really logical kind of way to present the gameplay. But like seriously, my gripe is that all of these things are tedious. Like just going around creating a map, and I think I would actually draw a better map in real than what I could do in this game by using like a compass and standing at certain viewpoints. I really don't get it. Like, and there's so many tedious things that you have to do that it just takes you off that whole thrill or feeling of trying to search for the cure or trying to know what you're doing. This combined with that the game is running so fucking slowly just makes this game really really difficult to play. I know what they were aiming for, but I think they just missed the point. Now Miasmata is one of those indie titles, I told you that. It doesn't really have much of a all-around feel apart from like what they were aiming for. Like they wanted to make realistic things, they wanted to try and make something new, I guess, something that wasn't possible doing in a big company. They had this kind of idea of what they thought was going to be fun, but I don't know. They also developed their own system called Milo, like their engine to run it, but apparently that sucks like shit because on my computer it doesn't run well. So if others have other like views of this, I'm open to hear what people have said, and there's just I don't know. It just never felt like anything made any sense to me in this game. So when people were talking about this game, like yeah, it's one of those forgotten gems from the last year, I was really looking forward to it, and because of like, the whole concept of being free and focusing on this aspect of survival and finding the cure using your mind. But I mean, if this is the way of like doing a free game, like doing nothing for 30 or 40 minutes, then I guess that this isn't the kind of game for me then. But then again, I've played other games that does this and think that they're pretty decent. So I don't know. I think they just fucked it up. All in all I can say is, as if this would have been like one of those really well-deserved games, like everyone says, like yeah, it's a pretty decent game. It was forgotten, like you should check it out. If it was really a really good game, they wouldn't really say that it was forgotten. They would just say, "Have you played Miasmata? It's this really good game." So that said, people take into consideration the price and the fact that it's an unknown title when they actually say that this game is pretty good. And that brings me to the conclusion that during the circumstances, it is pretty good for them. But if you have a decently good game with a cool new idea, but that runs really badly and has like these annoying moments in it, then that is definitely not worth checking out for me. The gameplay is pretty boring, the graphics are way out of hand, the sound and audio, it doesn't really make any sense, and the story and the whole HUD system and everything that you do in it, it really doesn't. The others have done it a lot better. Like open systems and never stopping time, it worked a lot better in the first Dead Space. Having this as a survivor horror game, I don't know. It just doesn't work. I give Miasmata a 3, and I'd say just stay away from this one because I am all for supporting indie developers trying to do something really creative and new, but I mean, if this is what you get and this kind of aspect of it, I'd rather actually play the new Call of Duty 2014 Modern Warfare 3 Special Operations Unit Dark Society or something, whatever. Like this just doesn't cut it for me. So Miasmata, it gets a really bland 3. It's just nothing that you should check out in my opinion. Until next time, Undertaker out.